How do websites figure out if you're a bot or not? The three main ways that I used, and that is why we're going to be writing the hide automation function today. The first thing that we want to do is open straight up Google page with the bot to see if actually everything works properly. Welcome everyone. Last time we actually did the bot user interface, and what we did was the get input data. And here you can see that if you actually open your function get input data, you're going to see that this opening browser is actually commented. What I'm actually going to do now is I'm going to teach you how to use, because I want to keep this as evergreen tutorial as possible. I'm going to show you how to not care if we have any changes in the code in the future. For example, Python 4, you're going to be doing this in Python 5 if you wish. And that's my main goal. Now, before opening Instagram, I want to show you that you can open YouTube, you can open Google, you can open Facebook, Amazon. For this tutorial here, we're going to be opening Google. Now, the first thing that I want to do is when I open up my form, right? So here's going to be the user, here's going to be the password, that's what we did. I want to click on connect. So clicking on connect is going to open obviously the page that you want. So for example, if it's going to be Facebook, if it's going to be Google, it doesn't really matter. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the input data function. And here I am going to write opening Google. And I'm just going to send absolutely the same commands. We're not going to use them. I just want to show you that we can do that. Opening Google, however, is not found because obviously it doesn't exist. But before I do create it and do the Instagram bot.py, I want to, if you remember, when you're pressing a button, you need to give it a command. Now I'm going to copy this get input data, or actually not going to copy it. I'm going to come here to the connect button. That's why you always write comments. And just as these commands, I'm going to write the function that's going to be executed once we actually press the button. So this is going to be command, is going to be equal to, and our function here is get input data. So I'm just going to write get input, and you can see that IntelliSense did a great job there telling me what kind of a function I do have. Once again, buttons are going to be linked with a ref here. That's going to be pointing to a function over here. Once I actually click it, it's going to be executed. That's how it works. So currently, I do have opening Google as a question mark. It says it's not defined. I cannot find it. Obviously, it cannot find it because we have not created it. Now, first, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to import it. So I am going to say from Instagram bot, right? Import, and I'm going to import this function opening Google. And that's pretty much it. Now, this cannot be found because it doesn't exist. But as you can see, the marks over here were actually removed. I'm going to go to the Instagram bot and create this function. It's not going to be called opening browser. Instead, it's going to be called, I forgot, opening Google. Yeah. So I'm going to say opening Google, and I'm going to pass a couple of stuff here. Or actually, what I can do, you know what's going to be better? It's going to be better if I say opening browser. Right? Because here we actually did create a driver. And oh, I also removed the hide automation stuff. I'm going to get to them later. Because once we're actually opening something, in order to keep it a bit more consistent, I'm going to say opening browser. And I'm actually going to use this. Good. Sorry about that. You're going to see why I did it in a moment. Now, I want to keep this, as I said, consistent. If you want, you can go to Google. If you want, you can go to Facebook, right? Since I'm going to be opening a browser, I want to open the specific browser that I want. I'm not going to go write functions, open Google, open Amazon, because I'm going to get bloated in functions. I'm just going to get opening browser. And in this function, I'm going to decide which kind of a browser I want to open. Actually, I'm going to open Google, and then I'm going to navigate to the specific URL, which are going to be Amazon and YouTube, because obviously they're on browsers. Good. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say Google navigation, and I'm going to just pass the driver. Also, before I'm actually passing the driver, I'm going to print the stuff that I get, and I want to print the username and the password. So I'm going to say like that. Good. Should be good. So I'm going to print the username and the password just to see that it works, and then I'm going to go head on to Google navigation with the specific driver. Well, this is going to be fairly easy. Now, once I actually head onto the Google navigation function. It's mean that I need to have it. Google navigation, and I'm going to pass driver over here. Driver, just let's write it correctly. And here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say driver.get and the specific URL that I do want. So it's going to be https google.com. Good. That should be it. Now, once I actually run it, what I suppose is going to happen is, let's write it like this. Here is going to be the username and the password. So obviously this is going to be username, this is going to be password. They should be printed out here, obviously. And we should see the Google page opened up. So that should be pretty straightforward if everything works correctly, right? Let's just see get input data. We have used the get input data here. Good. So this is going to run. Opening browser, Instagram bot opening browser over here. We're going to get the driver, executable path, Chrome path. Keep in mind, we're going to be using Chrome for this. And we're going to navigate to Google. Good. Now, obviously, I need to run from the user interface, and I'm going to write a couple of stuff here. So this is test user, and I'm going to do the same. This is test password over here. And I am going to connect. All right, so Google is opened, and we get this specific thing that I need to click on here. But before I do that, yeah, there we go. These are the logs. So this is test user and this is test password. So we're already having them. Should be good to go. And once we actually get into Google, I need to click this here, go here, and say Instagram.com. Once I'm actually headed into Instagram, I need to click this. And I have two things here, by the way, that are important. Now, the first thing is that sometimes you do not get this div over here with this phone, meaning that the login with Facebook is going to be different all of the time. So this is going to be a button that we need to click. But as I said, it's going to be different. So I'm going to be using some error handling over here. You're going to get it. Since I'm going to be explaining everything, we're going to log it into a file, the errors, and then we're going to be using the XPATH in order to find this button. All right, so that's pretty much it. Now, the get input data is working correctly. I do want, however, to navigate to Instagram. So in order for me to navigate to Instagram, let me just take this. I am going to use this driver, get Instagram.com accounts login. So let's actually see it again. I think I am working though. Yeah, let's remove that. And we're going to go to the Instagram login page. I want to see that. So let's just click on the user interface. I'm even going to skip the Google part. You can go to Google and you can use something in the search, or you can straight go to Amazon, whatever you want. Again, we do not need to write anything specific here because we're not doing anything. And here in the URL, we're heading on to the login page. Good. So as you can see, this is allow user cookies for Instagram to this user, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't really matter. But I want to click on allow essential and optional cookies. Now I'm going to do this. Oh, I cannot. Okay. Well, you have to believe in then that if I do that, this page has a allow essential optional cookies, and I'm actually going to show it to you with F12. And if I click on select an element to inspect it, I can select everything that is in this div. So I can just go and I can say, all right, click this button. This is the button that I've been talking about. Now I cannot drop the recording screen because it's 1920 1080 pixels. I cannot drop it down to, let's say, 2000 and something for some reason, but you can actually see every single element that you have in the HTML. So if I go down to allow essential optional, because I need to click it, right? I need to allow my cookies. You're going to see this button over here. Now this button is going to be probably different for you. Again, if you want to see what kind of a button do you want to click, let's say that I want to click this thing over here, this select, I'm just going to find it in the tree and then copy the XPATH. Currently, I do not want to click this, however, I want to click the allow essentials. So I'm just going to go all the way down to allow essentials. It's a button with blue ticks. I'm going to show you a screenshot. And here I'm going to say right click, copy, full XPATH. That's pretty much it. Now, since I want to click it, I'm going to go to the Instagram bot and I'm going to use something as time.sleep, and I'm going to sleep 2 seconds. So I do want to wait 2 seconds because I do not want to go to the URL and actually click a button very quickly. We have been talking about this in the previous episodes, but if I'm actually heading out to Google or to Amazon, let's say that we're going to Amazon because, as I said, this is going to be used for everything that you want. And I want to buy PlayStation 5s. Probably you have remembered the scandal that a lot of people are actually buying PlayStation 5s and there are no PlayStation 5s available. This is because people have been using bots like these. So they're going to the page and we have a PS5 here. So I'm just going to try to use my amazing editing. All right, so for some reason now I figure out that my Bandicam license probably expired. I need to buy a new one. So anyway, now what I wanted to say is that I'm going to be using the Photoshop, right? I'm going to say PlayStation 5 here because this is Amazon. So let me just draw it really quickly. And here we have buy and, I don't know, comment or rating. And people have been using these bots in order to go to the Amazon store and actually click on the buy icon. It's very simple to do. As you can see, it's very simple to go into Instagram. It's very simple to go anywhere. And you can click whenever you like. Now, this, however, is going to be blocked. There are a couple of ways, three main ways that actually the internet is keeping you as a user. It's keeping a way to understand if you're a bot or not. One of the ways that we're going to be talking about today, and the other two we're going to be talking about in another video, is you clicking too quickly. Now, if I go to Instagram, and probably you have figured out that already, if I have a phone over here, right? So this is going to be some phone, and I have this Instagram page, and I scroll really quickly, and I like each and every single photo, but I scroll very quickly. At around 150, I believe, I tested it, you're going to say you're not allowed to like anymore because this is our protective system against bots. So if you do things very, very quickly, you're going to be assumed that you're a bot. So that is why I'm going to be using time.sleep to simulate a human behavior, like 2 seconds, and then I'm just going to go and say, all right, I need to find this, I need to find that, right? And I'm going to click it. You can't just go and click straight because obviously that is not human-like. Next, as I said, I want to find this button. Now, since this is going to be Instagram navigation here, let's actually call it Instagram navigation like so. All right, this should be good. And I can remove these prints. Instagram navigation, we are heading to Instagram. And also I am going to say Instagram allow cookies button. Actually, allow cookies. And allow cookies button is going to be equal to this. Oh, no. All right, not this. I forgot what it is, what it's equal to. Let's go again. I forgot that I copied something else. Let's go to connect. We're going to go to Instagram. By the way, one more thing here you can see is that Chrome is being controlled by automated test software. This is something that we're going to be removing. This is the second way that people know that you're a bot. Good. F12. And actually, we need to be heading out to the allow essential and optional cookies. And why is my F12 not working? Good. Allow essential, the button, copy, XPATH. All right, remove that. Don't need it anymore. And now we're going to say allow cookies button is going to be equal to this. Good. So as you can see, this is the HTML path to the button that we're going to be clicking. Allow cookies button is going to be used now. So driver.findElement is called the function. And I'm going to say by.xpath, and I'm going to give the xpath to find the element. And obviously, then I'm just going to say click. Boom, there we go. Very simple. And I'm going to wait 3 seconds after that. So this is the allow cookies button, right? And if this is not the same for you, and probably it's not going to be because they're changing it quite frequently, always go on yourself, press F12, find the element, and just replace this variable over here. And of course, you can say also, it's going to be better if I say Instagram URL is going to be equal to this one over here. I'm just going to get this Instagram URL. All right. This way, you can change this to Amazon, you can change this to Google, and it's going to be used better, obviously. So time sleep, and then we're going to do it like so. I actually like it like this. Okay, good. Find element by XPATH. One thing very important to say is that if I want in the future to find any element, and this find element is not the function because this was the case with me, go to Selenium and see how can I find an element with Selenium. They're just going to change the name of the function, but the function is going to do the same thing. So for example, before right? Before it was driver, I believe, find, and then element XPATH is going to be equal to allow cookies button, and then I'm just going to say click. I believe it was something like that. But you shouldn't be caring about that because, as I said, it's always the same thing. The idea is what matters the most. Good. So I'm going to run this now. And what I do expect is that I'm going to go to the Instagram page. So this is going to be the IG. This is going to be the optional allow cookies. And I'm just going to click allow. Allow is going to do nothing more than just simply remove this window over here. And I'm just going to see the main Instagram page. So let's see if I'm actually right. Connect. And let's see what's going to happen. We're going to head to the Instagram page, wait 2 seconds, and click allow. Boom, there we go. So now we're actually having this Instagram page with login Facebook, phone number, a password, and login. And as you can tell, that's what we're going to do in the next episode. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for the next one. Bye.